Hey girl, hey, welcome back to my channel. It's your girl Misha. Thank you guys for joining me yet again for another review. We are back with a brand new review for The Real Housewives of Atlanta, Season 16, Episode 2. If you are new here, then welcome. I give lighthearted reviews with a little bit of laughter and a little bit of shade and a whole lot of detail. If you're back for a second or third time, then welcome back. Y'all, please don't hesitate to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. Share with a friend. Hit that notification bell so that you will be updated each and every time I upload a video. Now, y'all, let's get into it if we gonna get into it. So when the episode first opens up, we gone on down to Britt's house. Another awkward scene with her and that husband of hers. He's inviting his family over so they can have a family dinner. Now, the way that the children were not used to that, honey, they are used to Kraft macaroni and cheese and whatever chicken nuggets they got in the freezer. Because that little girl was like, oh, you don't think this is too fancy? Baby, this is a fool. Kids will literally embarrass you, honey. So Britt is talking about how, she dated all these high profile men because she was in the music videos in high school. Ma'am, please stop glorifying the exploitation that you experienced. Please stop. Now, if you were 18, it still don't make it no better, because to me, that's still a child. And if you were still going to third period, fourth period, fifth, sixth, seventh, eighth, and then you were leaving to go home on a bus, then you should not be talking about you being a video vixen in high school. Girl, this is what lawsuits are made of. What is wrong with you? You are a documentary waiting to happen. So anywho, she's talking about how she dated Rick Ross, but she likes Mike because, he's regular. He's normal. He's some Mike. Moving forward. So the family gets there. They sit down and they're eating and whatnot. So they wanted to know about the party. And Britt, who wants something with Kenya for whatever reason, she brings up that Kenya was being shady. Talking about, she was a little bit much, but I can handle her. Girl, give it a rest. Give it a rest. But I think I figured out why Britt is so pressed, honey, about Kenya. I'm going to get to it. The fact that her husband didn't even bat an eyelash and didn't back her up when she started talking about Kenya, that just shows that she be on that BS. Because if the husband knew that she had any skin in the game, he would have been like, yeah, babe, I'm down for you. But he was just like, child, pass the scallops, honey. He ain't got no time. So then her and her sister-in-law, they go downstairs because they're talking. So they go on downstairs and we find out why she started her insurance agency. Now, she said that her dad had a $2 million policy, but her mom didn't get it because he died right before he switched jobs. I'm so confused. Like, did he have life insurance through the job? And I don't know, honey. The story didn't make sense to me. I'm very confused about the life insurance of it all, because if he had a $2 million policy, then why didn't your mom get it? I don't know. But anywho, she started her insurance agency in honor of her father, and I think that was big. She said that they had to start a GoFundMe, and she doesn't want other people to go through that. She wanted her sisters to work with her, but it didn't work out. She said the oldest sister felt like she was a little bit too strict, and her middle sister had a fit, when she sold the company, and so she had to fire her. Okay, so now I get it. And this is what I was going to tell y'all. I get it now. Britt wanted to come in and be Kenya's little sis. Okay, she's a fan. She's been watching this show. She's been doing whatever she was doing in high school. She's been watching this show and she has seen Kenya on this show. And she's just thinking, yeah, I'm going to come in and me and Kenya going to be cool. That's why she was so gung-ho about, well, Kenya, are you going to give me a hug? Because you didn't give me a hug. Let me tell you something. I don't give a damn who you are or whose you are. If you come in and you don't greet me the way that I think that you should, then you pay me dust, I'm going to pay you dust. But she came in wanting a hug from Kenya because she's at odds with her sister. So she was trying to pick up Kenya and Kenya was like, not on my watch. But like I said, this whole thing between Kenya and Britt is giving ridiculousness and it just doesn't make any sense. So they're trying to talk and here come Mike. Talking about, you guys don't want to come upstairs for dessert? It's a strawberry shortcake with a little lemon twist. It's a lemon twist, It's a lemon twist, I don't know, y'all. I just do not like Britt so far. It's something about her that gives me Mia. When Mia first came on, child, it was all of this and all of that. Come to find out it was all a damn lie. In the next scene, Porsha and Kelli meet up for a scene. And it's awkward. Okay, they sitting there, it's giving awkward. Kelli is having an event, so she invited Porsha. They're meeting up beforehand so they can talk things out because, they didn't get off to the greatest start because Kelli just came out like, girl, why you still that lady husband? So they're trying to get past it. So Porsha said, Kelli has multiple personalities. Well, really, she has one personality, and that's loud. Now, don't get me wrong, Kelli is loud. Because I remember thinking on the first episode, dang, she loud. But Porsha, you have been loud too. I want to cook his meals. Cordell is not perfect by far. Child, I ain't got time. I do not have time, honey. Kelli said, I have different personalities and she has different men. Okay, and what else is going on? Anywho, once they get past that, because that's what Porsha said in the confessional, they start talking about what she told Shamea at dinner. Now, this is where it gets crazy to me. Kelli said, well, Shamea told me that I should ask you myself. So Porsha said, so my best friend told you to come and ask me that at her party? She told you that. Now, Porsha, okay, I know you finna get mad because Shamea knows that you're going through something according to you. But it was not even like that at all. She was just trying not to get in the middle of it and thought that maybe instead of her giving her 2 cents, Kelli should come directly to you. So is this the beginning of Porsha versus Shamea and them having issues all season? Because I feel like it was a bunch of confusion. I mean, Porsha sits there and looks at Kelli and goes, oh, well, that's not how it came to me. Girl, why do you keep saying that when you talk about every situation first? And then it's a lie. Okay? It's a lie. Because that's the way that you took that whole situation with Drew back to Dennis. Now here you are sitting with Kelli. And it's just giving confusion to me. I mean, I guess they brushed it under the rug. So now they're cool. I don't know, child. This is getting crazy. Because then Porsha was like, okay, we got like an up and down kind of relationship. At first I called you a troll, but you gonna be my troll. And Kelly's like, well, I hope I'm the cute one. I hope I'm Poppy. Girl, you're nobody's troll. I would have told Porsha, girl, don't be calling me no damn troll. Now, we can be cool, but don't be no fool. Okay? Y'all like the way I rhyme? I do it all the time, honey. Don't call me no damn troll. I don't like that. It's giving pick me. But one thing I got to respect about Kelli and give her credit for is that she ain't scared. She is not scared. She came right to that scene, sat down with Porsha, honey. They were social distancing. But she did speak her speech, and I appreciate that. And I'm happy that they were able to get past it quickly because there really was nothing to be pressed about all season. That's crazy. But Porsha, as always, you telling somebody that, well, that's not how it came to me when it actually came to you that way, is crazy. And you have done that multiple times in the past 3 episodes. Girl, what is wrong with you? In the next scene, Drew is down to the studio to drop some beats. Listen, Drew. I gotta say this, and that's neither here nor there. That's just a side note. But baby, that album is fire. Girl, that album is good. Drew, you made some hits. You and the Hot Dog Man. You did that. So anywho, Kenya, Cynthia, and Angela, they're down there, right? Cynthia, girl, you back in one of them OLWs. What is happening? Now, I know you are a friend of the show, and you really ain't gotta put that on like you used to. But at least, girl, I'm just them weak. Look, Cynthia said, look, I'm older, child. I got the flexibility of popping in and out. I'm going to put on whatever the hell I find in the closet, and y'all going to get this today. Okay, and then after I'm done, I'm going to drive right on back to Lake Bailey and lay it down. I know that's right. Now, this scene reminded me of season 8, I believe, when Phaedra and Nene went to see Demetria in the studio, and Phaedra told that lady she should be a folk singer. Do y'all remember that? Do y'all remember that? Why would Phaedra tell that woman she should be a folk singer? I thought that was so damn rude back then. I said I would have cussed Phaedra out. But anywho, that's what this scene reminds me of. Mrs. Oakley, she's there as well. And so they started talking about how her and Charles met. And she said they've been together for a while, and they met because they were in the same building and he held the elevator for her, and they've been together ever since. Now, the way that Charles be acting sometimes, baby, he could have pushed that close button and went right on to his floor. Because, baby, he would exhaust me. Sometimes, he just seems like he would get on my central nervous system. So, therefore, and thus and such, honey, he could have let that elevator close right on up. So they start talking, and Angela is telling them about how she met Charles and how she had the doorman watching out for her and the front desk and the concierge, baby, going to ask if they had seen him that day. If I got to do all that, I don't want it. You got to be stressed enough when they don't live near you. Now you got to be stressed and they live on another floor? Oh, no, ma'am. Moving forward. So then Kenya wanted to know if Dennis was supposed to be at the studio. And so Drew was like, well, he is supposed to be choosing some records. Baby, Kenya gonna move this thing along if she don't do nothing else. So Drew's sitting up there lying, talking about, but I don't even talk to Dennis on the phone. The lie detector test determined that was a lie. They show them talking on the phone. Oh, Lord, Drew, please don't become exhausting. Okay? If it's one thing I can't stand is a liar and then the stupidity of the lie. And girl, they catch you every single time. So both Kenya and Cynthia thinks that Drew is in the wrong. Now, I'm going to tell you like this. I don't think that she is. Dennis does what he does, and when he wants to do it, he and Porsha were never married. But that's just my opinion. Porsha does not get Dennis's approval or anything like that to deal with anybody, but he has to run everything by her. Now, that's just my personal opinion. I don't see it. Yes, they share a child, but I just don't think that, I don't know. That's just me. She said that she tried to contact Porsha more than once via text. Basically 3 times. They were supposed to meet up, but Porsha canceled on her. Okay, so why didn't you just send it in a text? Listen, I wouldn't be sending you, I need to talk to you. Like, I really need to talk to you. You could have called her instead of sending the text. She told you she was out of town, so you could have waited a little bit and then just sent it in a text. I bet she would have picked up that phone then. And then last episode, you said you did tell her before Dennis started working with, girl, which one is it? Did you tell the lady or not? Because it's looking like a lie, and it doesn't seem like you told her before she found out. So Kenya wants to know why Dennis can't take her for Drew. She's like, well, Dennis has been such a professional. Kenya said, yeah, and you're being talked about like you're a whore. Y'all, this was so funny to me. Cynthia got in that confessional. Cynthia said, not a whore. Okay, you can call somebody a hoe, and that's almost like a compliment. Now, I don't know, but that's a compliment, because don't y'all call me that, okay? She was like, that's almost like a compliment. But a whore? That's horrible. Baby, that was so good to me. Baby, the wigs might be wrong, but that confessional is right. That was so funny to me. You know good and well Kenya gonna use the most inflammatory term that she can use. She went to that magnet school in Detroit, honey. Child, Kenya is a mess. Cynthia then is like, well, did you speak to Shamea? Because she the one that started all of this. But baby, what she say that for? Angela then pipes up and says, well, I had asked Shamea why she asked that question, and she went off on me. Here go Kenya talking about, she definitely said that. She did not say, are you fucking Dennis? She did not say that. She did not. So then Angela says, well, then after it all was said and done, she just stormed off. She did not say that. And Angela, you are putting too much stank on it, talking about she stormed away. She did not storm away. The session was over and she was done. Okay, because you literally put words in her mouth. And then y'all called her a lapdog. So you think she's supposed to just sit there and continue talking? Absolutely not. Drew said, well, Porsha said that she wanted to talk to me, so we'll just talk about it whenever we talk about it. Cynthia said, well, I'm just going to say this to you. Baby daddies, that's different. I mean, I guess. But to me, if she's making music with Dennis, then why wouldn't he be in a scene? I don't know. I feel like they're just making it bigger than what it is. If she was maybe doing something she didn't have no business doing, I feel like maybe she could have given her a heads up so it don't look funny. But I digress, child. I ain't got time for this made up storyline. In the next scene, Shamea is at home talking with her sisters. So they're sitting there. They're talking about everything that's going on with Shamea, and Shia has to have her tonsils out. And she says she is good at masking how she feels. So in this scene, she's getting really emotional and she's crying because everybody thinks everything is fine and she's there to help everybody else. But when it comes to her, she seems to just push her feelings to the back burner. And I know that feeling all too well. I really do. Now, she wants to give Gerald another child, but she doesn't know how to do that and give all of that, because at the time that she was doing her treatments, her estrogen was so high that she was at risk for blood clots and strokes. So she doesn't even know if she would want to go through anything like that. That's why she was down there talking to Shadina about possibly getting another surrogate. And that just proves that it does not matter how much money you have. Everybody is struggling in their own way. This is solid proof of that. Now, she's worried not only about her health, but the health of her daughters. And I am so happy that her sisters were there to make her feel better, because it's good to have a good support system. I just feel like maybe she needs to talk to Gerald about having more kids, because it does not seem like it's the right time. It's just too much on her plate right now. And I'm sure that he would understand. I know she wants to give him what he wants. I get him. But baby, absolutely not. If I'm not around to help you raise these kids that you want more of, then what? So you gonna kill me to get more kids? Listen, Shamea, I'm speaking directly to you, honey. Do not put your health in jeopardy. Now, it may not be wise to try and have other children. Now, if you are going the surrogacy route, I understand. But then you also have a child that needs a lot of attention. Can you really do all that and be a housewife and be on the radio and be at the sports games and be here, there, and everywhere? Y'all need to talk about that for real. Okay, and I think this season gonna bring some things out. In the next scene, Angela is at one of her investment properties. Charles and his ways, they show up. Hey, sir. Angela said Charles invested his money, so she just trying to, show him what she can accomplish, so maybe he'll trust her more and, allow her to get more properties. What do y'all even be talking about? And girl, I thought you said you were self-made. So is he investing after you got made? Like, I'm confused, because you literally just said last episode that you're self-made, letting everybody know I don't need Charles's money. But then in the same breath on this episode, you're like, yeah, well, I just want him to know that he can help and keep investing. I got to prove myself to him. This editing is awful. It really is. And it's probably all spliced together because they got to keep Kenya out of it. I don't know. It just looks, it's just not adding up. So they're sitting there and she's talking to him about a vow renewal. Girl, we're going to have to get some better communication and stuff going before we start renewing a vow. So basically, this is what she's telling us in the confessional. She said in 2017, Charles Oakley was kicked out of a Knicks game because the owner doesn't like him. Ma'am, I remember watching that clip because my son loves sports and he was fighting. It wasn't just because the owner didn't like him, allegedly. No, I'm just telling y'all the clip that I saw. Hop over on the YouTube and put it in for yourself. Charles Oakley gets kicked out of the Knicks game and you will see that. But anywho, she said that Charles was upset about certain things and he wasn't healed and she couldn't heal him. So they ended up living separately. Now, mind you, she said they were newly married. So you are newly married and already separated. So now she feels like this is the perfect time for them to recommit. Huh? Girl, how did him being kicked out of that arena cause y'all to have to separate? And what does that have to do with the vow renewal in 2024? Girl, that ain't making no sense. Now, I guess he must have been taking out whatever anger he had on her because he probably was embarrassed. But if it's starting out like that, ooh, honey, if I could turn back the hands of time. Absolutely not. First red flag, I'm out of there. It's just not going to work. Now, she said that he wants to wait. And he was sitting there basically like acting like they weren't going to be together in a few years. Well, I don't know. We'll see. That's a long time. I don't know. I'm like, So she brings up the fact that she spoke to her therapist and he's like, well, after a few times, shouldn't you get a discount? You pay like $3,000 a month. Now, she told us that she only pays about $1,200, but it's worth it. She's like, yeah, we going to need this for the next 10 years. Baby, he going to need it for beyond that. Keep the therapy going. Okay, please keep the therapy going. It's a lot more to this story and this relationship, but we're just getting bits and pieces. But I am glad at least she's going to therapy. And I hope he go too, y'all. Moving forward. Over on the other side of the A, Drew goes to visit her lawyer. Drew, what in the hell do you have on? Drew, do not piss me off. Drew, what do you have on? Huh? Say what now? You say what? Girl, what do you have on? So they're talking about this court case, right? Because her and Ralph are going through a divorce. Baby, Ralph came in there with no lawyer. He was cross-examining Drew. Ralph, listen, baby, this is not the time for you to play a lawyer on TV. You need to get a damn lawyer. This just don't make no sense. You clearly ain't got a pot to piss in or a basement to throw it out of. Now, according to the lawyer, Ralph showed and proved that he was the one who was a manipulator in the relationship, exactly what Drew said. She said that it's been a year and a half since she even filed for a divorce. Now, the goal is to get Ralph out of the home and then sell the home. So the judge says that the reason why he's in the basement is because they're not able to be, together. And Ralph said that he's not able to afford both another place and the home that her and the kids live in. Now, the attorney is like, well, we don't even know if that's true because he hasn't turned in any documents. Now, Drew got in the confessional and said that Ralph has access to Drew's money, but won't reveal his. Now, let me clear that up because I know a lot of people were like, how he know what you got in your bank account, but you don't know what you got? When you get divorced, you have to go through something that's called discovery. Trust me, I know. You have to hand over your financial information, all of your bank accounts, all of the ways that you make money, your W-2s, all of this. So both parties have to exchange information. So you get your husband's and he gets yours. Well, Drew gave hers and Ralph ain't gave nothing. So now he knows about all the money that she makes and he's not giving any information on his side. So he playing a game. Okay, it just don't make no damn sense. It's not like he has her bank account number and he just goes in there and knows her money. No, they're talking about what goes on when you go through discovery. So the lawyer is telling her that the court records were sealed, but they're about to be unsealed. And she wants to know, okay, so what is that going to show? Girl, everything. Basically, they said he's a serial cheater. He be sexting other women, following her, tracking her, stalking her. He is a psychopath, allegedly. Narcissistic men have the same exact playbook. They do not vary from the script. These people be legit scary out here. I know exactly what she is going through. I can totally relate to what Drew is going through right now. She's crying because she's scared about all of this coming out and their kids are going to see it. I was just sitting here like, oh my gosh, I cannot believe that Ralph was doing all that. But he did say that he was tracking her. This was in the earlier season. I think this was their first season. He said that he was tracking her car. That's when he went to Tampa. Child, I was just surprised she wasn't sitting there with Randy Kessler, honey. He got all the housewives in Atlanta on lock. It's truly sick, though, the way that Ralph behaves towards this woman because she's the mother of your kids. But, they don't care about that. Okay, that narcissistic people do not even care about their kids. I'm sorry, it's sad but true. You doing all that cheating, plus you're hiding assets, and you're stalking her and putting in tracking devices. Drew just needs to get far, far away from that man ASAP. And Ralph has taken over the spirit of Simon. So he about to fire up that mic in that content basement. And baby, he gonna make a video refuting everything that they said on tonight's episode, honey. Y'all just get ready for the little clips over there on the Neighborhood Talk. Moving forward. Baby, Atlanta know they got some awful husbands this season. You got Simon, Ralph, Mike and his lemon twist, Charles Oakley and his bad attitude. Does anybody like any other ladies that they're with? Child, this is a fool. In the next scene, Shamea and her cute little baby, Shia, they're going to the hospital because she has to have surgery. Now, Shia is the oldest daughter. Baby, poor Gerald, his nerves were so bad, child. He was so stressed out. He ain't sat down the whole time she was back there. I'm like, I know that's right. He gonna say, I just had to stretch. You didn't have to stretch your nerves bad, and I get it. Over on the other side, Mama Diane and Porsha go for a little self-care. So Porsha is getting ready to lie, and Miss Diane is getting ready to listen. Porsha is telling her mom about Simon. So her mom said, I felt like he was your protector. How? Where did y'all get that from? Maybe I don't know because I'm not in a relationship or whatever, but protector, I never got that from Simon. Porsha said in her confessional, in her first divorce, she felt like she was going through the divorce with someone, but with Simon, she feels alone and they have zero communication. Porsha, what are you talking about? Do you remember that first divorce? Okay, if you don't, girl, let me run it down for you. Now, according to you, this is what you said. You found out that he wanted a divorce on the Twitter. That's how you said you found out. You said that you found out he wanted a divorce on the Twitter and he just threw all of your stuff in a box. Baby, he had broke up your wedding dress. He had taken things out, threw your stuff in a box and shipped it off to your mama's house. Do you remember that? Now, to me, this just feels just as slimy as the first time via the TV screen that you got divorced. This does not seem any different. Cordell didn't want to have a conversation and neither does Simon. Something ain't right. So Miss Diane, she's just sitting there taking it all in like, yep, you was wrong. I know. Miss Diane, baby, you gonna have to start telling Porsha the real deal about these sorry men and stop enabling her behavior. Now, the first time I was like, you know what? Miss Diane is really there for Porsha. Porsha came home, baby. Miss Diane was buying clothes for the dog. She was treating Porsha to breakfast, lunch, and dinner. She didn't even want Porsha to leave. And, I understood the first time. But now we are in our 40s, honey. Like, come on now. Let's get it together. So then Porsha starts telling Miss Diane about how she talked to Shamea. And she said that, Shamea wanted her to go out and have fun. So she took her out. And so she tells her that she went out. And Shamea was telling her how she went out with Kelli and Britt. And all they were doing was talking about her the whole time. So Miss Diane gonna say, well, why was she telling you all that negative stuff if she wants you to feel better? That just don't make no sense. You gotta watch the dog that brings the bone. Really? So where was this advice when Phaedra brought that last season 9 over there to Porsha and she repeated it to Candy? What about the dog with the bone then? Girl, bye. And not Miss Diane causing dissension between Porsha and Shamea when it wasn't even like that. You can see the fault in everybody else except the men with money and Porsha. This just doesn't make sense. Now, y'all would have had a fit and y'all would have had something to say if she didn't tell Porsha. Then it would have been like, oh, well, why were you keeping it a secret? And it just came up in conversation. But now it's a problem with this too. And I don't even want to hear anything about a dog with a bone when you sat right at that picnic table with Sheree and Phaedra while Phaedra said, Candy and Todd and Shamea, they fucking. So I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it. You are making it sound worse than it actually is. Shamea did not tell you in that way. She didn't just sit you down and lead with that. Please cut the crap. In the next scene is the day of Kelli's Mommy and Me event. Shia is out of surgery for her tonsils. All the ladies are getting ready. I know that I'm not there because why did I think it was pronounced Balmain? But she kept saying Balmain. I said, oh, baby, not Balmain. I'm not a designer girl anyway, but honey, not the Balmain of it all. Because when she was saying it, I was like, where's that? Okay, who said that? Baby, but it's Balmain, honey, not Balmain. Anywho, they're going down to Balmain and they're having this Mommy and Me event. Kenya and Porsha, they're dressed like their daughters. I thought that was so cute. I was like, oh, look at the Mommy and Me dresses. I just love it. So anyway, we find out that Porsha and Drew share the same glam. And Drew was being petty and she was taking her time. So they couldn't get to Porsha in time. So she had like a little light beat that took about 15 minutes. Now in this scene, Porsha looked just like Pilar. They looked just alike. I said, she looks just like her daughter. So anywho, everybody's arriving. Cynthia, Shamea, Angela, as well as Britt. They're all there. Child, Kenya actually hugged Britt's neck. So hopefully she will simmer on down. Because, girl, you are so hard up for a hug. She gave you a hug this episode, so you should be okay. And I saw that made you a little bit more calm. Because, child, I just knew you was finna get on my nerves. So Angela is telling us that she wants to talk to Shamea because she didn't like the way that things went the last time they interacted. Meanwhile, Shamea is over there telling Porsha that Angela is the one from the 90s. Girl, listen. I'm not even getting all wrapped up in the looks. I don't have time for that. Y'all didn't even get into it for real. This is just dumb to me because it wasn't even that serious for you to start talking about her having a 90s face and all this other kind of stuff. That's crazy. So then Kelli grabs the mic and she tells us that 3 of her daughters have osteogenesis imperfecta. It's better known as the brittle bone disease. So what had happened was she noticed that something was wrong with her daughter's arm. So she went to the hospital and she said it was like cops standing outside the hospital room. They thought that she was abusing her daughter. So then the doctor looked into her eyes and they figured out that she had OI. And that's the only way that she was able to leave with her children. Now, as she was telling this story, it really made me see another side to Kelli. And I hope that she's bringing awareness to another parent that may be going through the same thing and just can't figure out what exactly is going on with their child. Maybe this will spark something in them to talk to their doctor. I don't know about y'all, but this is just me. I really am liking Kelli more and more each episode. I feel like I may have prejudged her, but she seems to really be a genuine person so far. Now, I might take this back later, but she doing good so far. Moving forward. So Drew finally arrives, right? Here go Kenya. Have you talked to Porsha? Girl, you can't miss them hips. Baby, the hips don't lie. Ma'am, please. Drew over there scared to talk to Porsha, talking about, I mean, if I run into her organically, girl, y'all in this little bitty boutique, you gonna run into her. But I'm not gonna just go over there and force nothing. Yeah, you scared because she cussed you out last time. Meanwhile, it's a whole other drama brewing between Angela and Shamea. So Angela is trying to talk to Shamea. Now, I think that Shamea was on 10 and she was really going through some things, especially before she got to this event, and she took it out on Angela. That's how I feel about the situation. Now, Angela did lead with, I know we got off on a bad foot. So then Shamea said, yeah, I know we did, but I want to know if we can talk. And so Shamea said, yeah, I would like to speak to Angela, not Drew's representative. So she said, well, that was Angela. Shamea said, so you speak on Drew's behalf? She said, yes, I will. Okay then, ma'am. So then why call her a lapdog if you speak on Drew's behalf? Please make it make some sense. Now, I'm happy Drew finally has an ally, but that just don't make sense to me. So then Shamea says, well, you know what? I'm good on you. So she walks away. Angela tells her, girl, you're a mean girl, Shamina. Oh, well, baby, what she say that for? Shamina was a good one too. So she walks away. I ain't gonna lie, that was funny. So now they going back and forth and back. Shamea tells her to take herself and gone on over there with her 90s nose. Then Angela called her Flavor Flav. Now, as soon as she said Flavor Flav, I was like, child, what does Shamea have in common with Flavor Flav besides her skin color? Now, granted, Shamea did state that she had dressed as, Flavor Flav for Halloween, but I doubt that Angela knew that. I feel like the only reason why she said that is because Shamea is a darker skin color. That's how it came across to me. Now, a lot of people are just like, oh, well, she spoke on her looks first. I get it. Now, she said Flavor Flav was the biggest hype man. Porsha collects the check and Shamea does all the work. Now, I'm just not down for the aesthetic reads. I like a clever read. Something that you really got to dig in deep to get. You know what I'm saying? Not just the obvious, because all of them pulled up tight. Now, we can say that about anybody, but I really like when you give a read that's make you feel red. Was that a read? I don't feel red. Like, I like to feel red. Baby, I like to feel red. So Shamea is over there telling them that they need to get Angela's nose shaved down. And Angela said they need to get Shamina's nose out of Porsha's behind. And baby, the girls are fighting. So now they're going back and forth and back. To me, it was given a little bit too extra for no reason because it wasn't even that serious in the gym to even be doing all this. It's giving crazy. Porsha then came over, was like, I heard you was talking about some people's looks. And Shamea said, yeah, I brought up her nose and she called me Flavor Flav, so we're even. Now, Shamea was definitely not offended by the Flavor Flav of it all. She said, yeah, I was Flav for Halloween, but I didn't know she was going to be LaToya Jackson today. Y'all crazy. All of y'all crazy. Baby, they are ripping each other apart. Do you hear me? Now, I feel like, honestly, this is a lot of misplaced anger. Shamea is dealing with a lot. Angela at least tried to correct things. Now, I have to give her props for that because she did come to Shamea in a way that was non-threatening and like she really wanted to have a conversation. Now, she did throw me off with the Flavor Flav thing just a little bit, but Shamea is wrong also for talking about that lady's nose and then continuing to do it. So Porsha is over there talking. And King is like, well, why did you go for her nose? That's what I want to know. Here go Porsha. Well, I mean, she called her Flavor Flav. So, I mean, it's even. And Porsha, I find this mighty funny that you ain't speaking up like you did when Toya from Married to Medicine was talking all about the lady's looks. Now, all of a sudden, it's tit for tat because it's your friend. Okay, girl. That's why I ain't even pay attention to that. I was like, child, please. Y'all want to be so fake offended. So Shamea apologizes to Drew on the other side for calling her out. And they kind of squash it. My thing is this. Why couldn't you and Angela talk like this? It's very simple. Why are you more angry at Angela than you are at Shamea? Are we missing something? So then Kelli tells us that they all spent $30,000 and the money goes to the OI Foundation. And I think that that's great. Kelli, you did a great job. Now, I don't like that little get up you had on because girl, I was like, what in the Madonna? It just was awful. Like the cups on her shirt, it reminded me of the thing from Saw. I don't know. I just didn't like it, honey. It just wasn't right. But your event was lovely. I loved seeing the little girls come there with their mommies and your beautiful little twins. And I like the fact that you brought awareness to OI. I have never heard that before. And I guess Drew got some courage, honey. And she went up to Porsha to see if Porsha wanted to talk. Well, baby, what'd she do that for? Porsha was like, yeah, no, not right now. So then Drew's like, well, I mean, we're already here. Let's just go talk. So then Porsha gets in the confessional, talking about Drew gonna come up to me. I want to talk and I want to talk now. She did not, Porsha. She did not. She just stated, since we're both here already, why don't we just get this out of the way? She did not come to you like, you better do it when I say do it. Please stop. So then she's like, I want to know where the audacity came from. And then I turned around and noticed that her sister Heavy D was there. Girl, not rap legend Heavy D. You mean Baby D? It is 265 days in a year, honey. The train is not electric like what we have now. Baby, not Heavy D. You mean Heavy D from Heavy D and the Boys. My diddly 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 dee. That Heavy D? Girl, bye. Moving forward. This season gonna piss me off, okay? Y'all all gonna piss me off. She did not demand a conversation from you. She was just trying to get it out the way. She did not say it the way that you told it to Dennis. Shamea did not say it the way that you told it to Kelli. She did not say it the way that you told it to Mama Diane. Mama Diane, stop talking about the man that sleeps on the floor, loses the bone that's in its mouth. Please, for the love of God. Y'all don't piss me off. Do not piss me off, okay? Please don't. Drew, leave that lady alone. She said no. No is a complete sentence. Okay? And Porsha, I know you're not talking about her sister being there when you have brought Lauren as a backup a time or two. But now it's a problem because Drew has somebody with her. Girl, bye. And that was the end of the episode. Y'all comment down below. Tell me exactly what y'all thought about episode 3 of The Real Housewives of Atlanta. Meet me on over here on the other side of the A so we can talk to the medical wives at the reunion part 1, child. It's a fool. Comment down below and I'm going to comment back. Please don't hesitate to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. And as always, stay safe, stay blessed, spread love, not germs. Peace.